This is Cat's the Calicatster, and center this a little better. Center it well. Yes. Yes. I am not going to read the Stone Lemons review of this first. I have earlier today. I saw the usual Friday movie. Even though I did all week, I was doing the Starcracker thing, Starcrackers reunion thing of Mark's Cards and I over there on the first channel, Channel 1 channel, to give us more ratings because we have like and subscribe to our channels. Yeah, we need more people, and yeah, lots more subscribers. A few dozen is not enough. So yeah, this is a review of Leap, which is a cartoon movie that originally was done in 2016, but has now finally come out. It's been the trailers and things for it for a year. It was 2016, so now it's finally come out. And it is an American dubbed over French movie, cartoon. Weinstein Brothers distributed it, and it features voices of Ellie Fanning and Mel Brooks and some other people. Mel Brooks is about over 90 years old. If my father was still alive, he'd be the same age as Mel Brooks. He's not. That was 2009. Mel Brooks is still alive, and it's interesting that he's in another comedy cartoon movie. The last one he was in as Vlad in Hotel Transylvania 2. Mel Brooks. No relation, but he was in it. Yeah, I saw some of his early comedies when I was a kid, teenager, and a kid, and then a teenager. Yeah, so yeah, he's been a comedian for many years, producing crazy movies. Most famous of which was Blazing Saddles, which was a cowboy western spoof. And History of the World, and a number of other things. Yeah, so yeah, he has a cameo in this movie as the evil orphanage guy, troll sort of orphanage guy. Yeah, so the movie is a cartoon. The critics are hating on it, literally. It's sort of like what would happen if you crossed Leonard Part 6, which wasn't very good, which is a live-action movie with the Remo Williams a little bit, and Ratatouille, and Black Swan, and put them all together in a blender and made a movie out of it. Also Rock Dog, very similar to Rock Dog, which was earlier in the year. Yeah. So. Yeah. Hold on a second. The premise. The premise of the movie is that these two orphans, a boy and a girl, they're probably just barely pubescent, although they're played by actors that are at least 18. but oh well, that happens a lot. They go off to Paris from this orphanage. They sneak out of the orphanage and they go to Paris. And the boy wants to be an inventor and work with Eiffel, the guy who built the Eiffel Tower. And the girl wants to be a dancer at the Paris Ballet, the famous Paris Ballet musical theater thing. That's where we get ballerinas from, and then ballets and stuff. Although there were definitely ballets and ballerinas in other Renaissance places. It's not like France invented them. It's just that it was one of the world famous ones. The Russians have a ballet, the French have a ballet, the Italians have ballet. It's part of the opera and the music and the whole thing. So it's not like, it's not like that's something that they came up with. It's just in this one they have. So she goes to the ballet and she meets this sort of sort of spinsterous lady who has a cane, who used to be a dancer, and this evil witchy sort of lady whose daughter is trained to be a dancer, and through a series of mishaps, manages to take the place of the daughter to go over to the ballet school and become a ballet dancer. And somehow, for the process of elimination, she's chosen as chose to be in the Nutcracker. But at the last minute, they discover, plot spoilers, that the movie's been out for a year, but it just came out in theaters. Yeah, there are some spoilers. They discover the identity and things go wrong, basically. There's a big fight on the Statue of Liberty which happens to be there, concerning which is being assembled, concerning the witch lady chasing after the girl who escapes. And then there's a dance off at one point, which is right out of a '90s comedy. When the two girls meet up again. There's going to be plot spoilers in this mini review because it has been out. It was a French movie before we redubbed it into American and messed with it. So I think it probably loses something in the translation. And the critics are being unfair to it because, yeah, it's an American dub of a French movie and redistributed by the Weinstein brothers. So it's like, well, what was it like in the original version? Probably a little better. So I'm going to give it that. But yeah, it's not 2 stars. It's not that bad. 2.5, maybe. Yeah, 2.5. It was entertaining. It wasn't bad. It's a fine kids movie cartoon. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's not too smarmy. It's kind of on a par with. It's not quite Pixar, of course. It's on a par with some of the Sony movies, the newer ones, the dog going out on an adventure and whatever. Rock Dog is bad, but this one was not so bad. So and it's kind of like the ballet movies a little bit, but yeah. Although interestingly enough, Ellie Fanning was in Nutcracker 3D and as an actor, and I heard that movie wasn't very good. So anyway, I haven't seen, but I have seen the Nutcracker. Performed in a ballet, so I've seen that. That was cool. They put out all of this animatronics and people and stuff, and it's very elaborate play. It's also an operatic play thing with kinds of stuff, musical kind of thing, theater thing. So yeah, it wasn't really about the Nutcracker. It was just about auditioning for it. So it's kind of like there at the very end, the 2 dancers and all that. And yeah, everything, of course, everything works out for the hero in the end, and she gets to be in the play and all that. And of course, we have bad guy witch chasing her at one point on the Statue of Liberty's scaffolding with a wrench, going to do the Tanya Harding thing, which was back when the Nancy Kerrigan Tanya Harding thing. That was an old Olympic story in which the Olympic lady went after the other Olympic lady to try to bust her kneecaps so she couldn't compete. That was messed up. That was a story in the 90s. And they kind of imply that in this movie, which means that it's anachronistic because they're thinking of the 1890s, but that was the 1990s. What? It is a cartoon. I'll give them that. Okay, he wouldn't have Leonardo da Vinci wings. That doesn't make sense. Fine, it's a cartoon. On the IMDb site, they mentioned all the various anachronisms, but it's a cartoon. Yes, we all know that that the Statue of Liberty was built and finished before the Eiffel Tower and shipped off to America in the late 1880s, 1886. So if there were pieces of it lying around and it was being assembled and the Eiffel Tower was not yet assembled, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, so no. It would have been the other way around. But okay. Presumably in this universe, one came after the other for whatever reason. And there's a 1950s motorcycle in it. But okay, fine. Whatever. No big deal. It's a cartoon. Well, probably some of the ballet stuff didn't make sense either. Yeah, actually it didn't. The Nutcracker hadn't come out yet. They couldn't been auditioning for the Nutcracker. Oh well. Because the Nutcracker came out in the 1890s, and it's supposed to be 1886. Because they show the things under construction would have been in 1886, 1887. Oh well. 1800s. Yeah, and also the Statue of Liberty looks green in the cartoon, and it wouldn't yet, because it hadn't oxidized. It would have been shiny copper, just like the top of that one copper pyramid thing. Shiny copper would have, yeah, before they sent it. Yeah, when all gleaming and stuff. But yeah, oh well. And the Nutcracker was 1895. And I didn't notice that there was one thing the IMDb caught, a Quebec flag that wouldn't have been there yet, because it was only 18 something. Well, maybe in this universe it was actually 1900, and all that other stuff just lines up. I mean, it could have been a 1900s motorcycle. Or maybe they just, in this universe, things didn't happen yet, for whatever reason. Anyways, nitpicks on the cartoon. The other cartoon previews were very forgettable. I forgot all of them. Yeah, so... And yeah, it's okay. I mean, the inventor kid befriends this little chubby kid, and at one point they reference Sherlock Holmes, which was brand new, which is, I'll give them that one because they were probably avidly readers anyway, and maybe they had a copy in the bookstore while they were there in Paris, and they looked at it, the title or something. It's possible. It could have been a bookstore there. Okay, we'll give them the Sherlock Holmes reference. It's faux 1887. Yeah, that's it. And how did they get into a bar if they were only like 11 or 12? There was a Cal Cat line in the movie. I just remember that because of the 12 line. He says it's the statue of puberty. He says that in the movie. That's a Cal Cat line. That's from way back in the day. The statue of puberty. That's actually kind of funny that the one kid says that. Also, Eiffel doesn't actually appear in the movie, but they imply that they're working in his workshop. Yeah. Also, the dance master hall guy is the guy running the school is clearly gay, but that's okay. It's 2017, but it wouldn't have been okay in 1887. But yeah, no, they wouldn't do that in 1800s. Yeah, so. Yes, and in Europe, when somebody pecks somebody on the cheek affectionately, that's not what it set it off. It was the other stuff that he was doing. He was acting very, very effeminate. But so what? Anyway, so he wasn't interested in the girls that he was training because he wasn't interested in girls. Yeah, but that's good because your professor shouldn't be interested in that. That'd be bad. It is an oddity though. Running around Paris in the 1800s is probably not a good idea if you don't have a. Imagine you get like sold to a sweatshop or something. Something horrible will happen to you. You'll end up like in a river or a ditch or something. But apparently this is pretend Paris where things are okay. And oh well, sure, it's fine. The movie's not bad. I mean, it's G. I think it's G. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not great. It's probably not a part of that dog one. Yeah, Secret Life of Pets. It's just as good, I guess. This wasn't Sony, though, and this wasn't DreamWorks. It was Weinstein Company. Redubbing a French movie. Callion, something like that. Probably spelling that wrong. Um, cinema something. Callion. Yeah. So cinema just means a movie. So animation movie. It also reminded me of Hugo, like the Victor Hugo stuff in the Hugo movie. Although I think Hugo is set earlier than that. But yeah, trains and watches and things. But very steampunky in parts, which is kind of fun. Which would be accurate. Yeah, it have steam powered stuff. So steampunk stuff. But yeah, sure. Leap. It's called Leap. The implications, of course, are that perhaps the whole movie is, it's not a dream, but perhaps the whole movie is a dream because they both leapt off the roof of the orphanage and broke their heads, and now they're just kind of sitting there comatose with the whole thing. They're not, but I was just thinking that it's like, yeah, aren't they dead? And that, yeah, it was a cartoon, it's fine. And there was this, like, leap from the Paris steps, like, down 13 stairs and through the air, which would have immediately ended with her breaking, like, 15 bones as she hit the ground. She would have been more crippled than the other lady. She would have been all broken and mangled and stuff. Ew, there's, yeah, the kid getting bashed on the head with a bell, like when he hits the bell several times. That was messed up, the boy. And then later with the witch chick hitting him. I guess he was just used to it at that point. It's like, pfft, okay, I'm alright now. That just completely defies logic. Also, they kind of implied that the witch chick was in on the, she wasn't really a witch, but witchy person, was actually in on the other injury, but I don't think that was, yeah, they kind of revealed that. That begs the question, why does she work for her if she was the one that actually injured her? It's like, they should be all, screw you, I'm taking off to America to hang out with the Statue of Liberty. But then the movie wouldn't happen. It wouldn't have that Karate Kid moment where she's training her with the leaping in the water and all that. And if they combine it with Black Swan, that would be awesome. Exactly. Which had Natalie Portman in it. Now, if they combined the Nutcracker 3D with Black Swan and left in the dark ending, that'd have been awesome. The movie would have had better ratings. This movie almost went there. It was almost Black Swan territory. Almost. Not quite. But no, it wasn't that dark. But it should have been. But it's a horror movie. Yeah. Don't lose sight of your dreams unless they come to kill you. Ah, no. Yeah, so leap. Whatever. Actually, the original title was Ballerina. I think that's a better title. The Ballerina. Apparently that was taken. Yeah, why did they call it Leap? The Leaper? The music box. Of course, they called it the music box. There was a music box in it. It would have been confusing with the music box. I've seen other movies like this. Yeah, so this is French. But yes, it is French and it's dubbed. So if you ever get the Blu-ray version, Ballerina, get the French Blu-ray one with the subtitles. It's probably better than the American one. Or maybe the American one will come with the French one on it. It probably makes a little more sense in the French. I think it would. And then they said that it was earlier. It was not. Oh. Yes, and that fake French accent that I just made up just now. Croissant. Yes, I'm about as French as Patrick Stewart. Yes. Say, not really. Not really too much, no. Although he is closer because he's from England. But yes, that was a Star Trek reference. Anyway, and there was a Calicat reference. But yes, and it's like Leonard Part 6 and Remo Williams because that had to do with the Statue of Liberty, which was being renovated in 1987. But yeah, so Anyway, a lot of discussion over a movie that was just okay. Go out and see it. Whatever.